Hello. This is probably the only time you'll ever hear my voice. I want you to know about what happened, so that you don't make the same mistakes I did. So I'm going to try to be thorough. Your name is Nicholas Huntington III, and you've probably figured out that that means you are part of a line. I am your father, Nicholas II, and your grandfather was Nicholas I. By now, you'll have probably heard some stories about him, and if your adoptive mother has done as I asked, you're old enough now to know that the vast majority of those stories are true. I only hope that you don't judge your grandfather too harshly. It is very, very hard for people like us to get by in this world. I'm sorry that you're learning the hard way that people do not respect kobolds. They look at us like we're stupid and cowardly. They think we're all tiny savages who worship dragons because we're too small to imagine something bigger than us is anything less than a god. Your grandfather knew better than anyone that the easiest way to get someone to respect people like us is to have wealth. When he manifested his mark as a young man, he dedicated his life to amassing that wealth. He was an adventurer and a thief, a con man and a business mogul. He traveled the world collecting dragon shards and building his empire. Towards the end of the last war, he used the shards he collected to build a factory that produced cannons for use on airships. With the money he made, I was afforded the luxury of college. At the academy, where I studied to become an engineer, I met two very important players in our story, Kenna Everhart and Aleister Crowley. Kenna you know well by now. Her father was part of a dragon-worshipping death cult and experimented on her when she was a child. He mixed her blood with a dragon's, grafted those horrible things onto her. Aleister came from a long and bloody line of necromancers and demon-worshippers. Then there was me, the only kobold in the entire school, whose father was in good with criminals and profiteered off the war. Was it any wonder we fell in with one another? We were all different, all desperate to be more than our family names. I hired the both of them right out of school. They were brilliant engineers. However, they had very different methods. Kenna, for her part, flitted from project to project as new ideas sparked her interest. She designed household appliances, toys, and automata. At one point, she even went back to school and studied medicine. She put the Huntington Corporation on the map and made us all a great deal of money. Aleister, however, was obsessed with a single idea he called the twin mirror. He was convinced that one of these devices would be in every home, and I believed him. He wanted them to be portable, like hand mirrors, something you could take with you wherever you went. But he struggled for years with their power source. I discovered that he had stolen one of my dragon shards to power his prototype. I admit, that night, that I was harsh with him. Some of what came after, at the very least, falls on my shoulders. I should have cut ties that night, but Al was my best friend. I loved him, and I suffered for giving him my trust. Before I knew it, he disappeared, taking every last shard with him. To this day, I don't know where he's gone. Without the shards, my magic has grown weak. When I rebuilt the Huntington Corporation, I tried to cut off my father's criminal connections. Not only can I not power the factory without the shards, I can no longer protect myself and my family from those monsters. It won't be long now. I've sent your mother into hiding, and I'm entrusting you to Kenna. I can only hope you all remain safe. Alistair took most of his notes with him when he left, but in his old lab I found plans for what looked like a flying village. Perhaps he's using my dragon shards to build that contraption, but I've no idea if that's true. Nicholas, I loved Al, and that was my mistake. He kept secrets from me, and looking back, it's almost laughable how little I truly knew about him. Do not make the same mistakes I did. Don't give your trust to anyone who keeps secrets. Do not love someone you can't control.
It works! I can't believe it actually...
Alistair!
Nick?
What the hell is this?
Look, I'm sorry. It's just a small shard. I'll have it back where it was before anyone even notices.
I don't think you understand what's happening here.
Nick, let go of me! Put it down!
You think you can just steal from me and get away with it? You're lucky I don't kick you out on your ear right now. Don't you ever touch my things again. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought. Now, clean up this mess.
Oh no.